The space industry has undergone a revolution in the last decade, with private companies such as SpaceX and Blue Origin rapidly developing spaceflight technology. There's just something about outer space that captivates the imagination, and there is also the innate human desire to explore what's just out of reach right now. Sir Richard Branson, a British billionaire, created Virgin Galactic in 2004. The company's mission was to make humanity's dream of space travel a reality. They created a spaceship that can transport paying tourists above the atmosphere per fee. They will be able to see the world from space and experience zero gravity as a result of this. With the support of Chaman Palihapitiya, first SPAC, they went public in 2019 amid much excitement. Ordinary investors were able to purchase a piece of the new space economy for the first time ever. They were one of the best performing stocks in the market in their first year as a public company. The stock was more than a six-bagger from its initial stock price of $10 at its high this past June 2021. Though keep in mind that this high point in the stock price occurred before they launched even a single paying client into space. Everything appeared to be going well for the company. Their stock price was at an all-time high, and they were just months away from launching their first commercial space missions. But their flights were repeatedly delayed due to a variety of technical concerns. They say that they won't have paying clients in space until the fourth quarter of 2022, according to their most recent postponement. That is a full 2 years later than their original deadline of 2020, and many analysts believe the new deadline is optimistic. The faster you rise, the harder you fall, as the saying goes. While Virgin Galactic was one of the most successful companies while the bubble was expanding, it also suffered one of the most dramatic falls from grace. The current share price of $9 is more than 80% below its highs, and even lower than the initial stock price of $10. In this video, we will look at why Virgin Galactic drew so much attention and how it all fell apart. But first, if this is your first visit to our Smart Stocks Academy channel, please accept my warmest greetings. Hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell next to it to be the first to know when a new video like this is released. So if you're ready, let's get to the video. Sir Richard Branson, the wealthy business magnate who launched Virgin Galactic, founded the company in 2004. Spacecraft that take off from the ground and rise vertically to space are known as conventional spaceships. Because this is both incredibly energy intensive and prohibitively expensive for mass space tourism, Virgin Galactic devised a better solution. They created the Mothership, a massive two-headed aircraft. The Mothership takes off from a runway identical to that of a regular plane. It carries the spaceship on its belly and releases it once it reaches a sufficient altitude. The spaceship then launches its rocket to depart the Earth's atmosphere. Because they avoid the vertical launch, this method is significantly less expensive and energy efficient. While it is a fantastic concept, it is a challenging engineering task. The spaceship travels at more than 3 times the speed of sound and reaches the height of 56 miles above the Earth's surface. It has also returned all the way to Earth and slowed down enough to land safely. The VSS Enterprise was the company's first spacecraft, and it made its initial test flights in 2010. Things were looking promising, and they wanted to have commercial flights within the next 5 years. But because commercial space tourism is such a new business, there would have to be a lot more safety testing done before regular people could feel safe. It is probably for the best that they didn't perform any commercial flights at first. Their VSS Enterprise had a catastrophic failure back in 2014. It suddenly split apart and crashed to the ground 11 seconds after dismounting from their mothership. One of the 2 pilots was able to make it to the ground using a parachute. The second was unable to escape and died terribly. An examination by the National Transportation Safety Board determined that one of the landing systems were deployed too early, which was the proximate cause of the incident. It was a case of human mistake rather than a fundamental defect in the spacecraft. While this was of little comfort to the relatives of the departed co-pilot, it was wonderful news for Virgin Galactic. Richard Branson had no intention of letting a single spaceship disaster disrupt his plans. He continued to invest in the company, and in 2016, the VSS Unity was launched, with increased safety features and performance specs. The Unity spaceship reached an altitude of 83 kilometers in December 2018, exceeding the technical definition of outer space. Passengers on board the ship experienced true zero gravity, similar to the International Space Station at this level. They'd shown that their technology works, and they hadn't had any big safety difficulties in the 4 years since the business accident. Virgin Galactic was no longer a speculative venture. They were now a legitimate firm with a realistic chance of making money within a few years. In 2019, Branson met with Chamath Palihapitiya, another venture capital billionaire. Chamath was seeking for an acquisition target for his first SPAC at that moment. Chamath's SPAC agreed to merge with the company and take it public on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticket symbol SPCE. The company had no revenue and was burning through more than $100 million per year at that time. But there was a reason to be optimistic. The business model is simple. They will sell tickets for $250,000 each, which will allow passengers to go on a 2-hour space trip and experience zero gravity for a brief period of time. While $250,000 may seem like a lot to most people, there are 1.4 million households in the United States alone with a net worth of $10 million. The super luxury feature of space tourism reaps the benefits of the rising trend in income inequality. With Virgin Galactic as the only game in town, they should have no issue attracting tens or thousands of millionaires as long as they can demonstrate that their journey is safe. They had over 600 reservations at the time they went public, representing a potential revenue of more than $120 million. Chamath stated before the SPAC closed in 2019 that the firm will begin commercial flights in 2020 and be profitable by 2021.
The model that we are operating from, the operating model around which we're building the business, shows that we're going to be in commercial operations within a year. In the first half of next year is when we'll start to see the really ramping of customer flights, of revenue-generating flights. We expect profitability in mid-2021.
Well, now that 2021 has passed, we may assess how these predictions fared. Virgin Galactic has yet to fly a single paying passenger into space as of today. They have no revenue for practical purposes and are losing tens of millions of dollars per quarter, rather than being profitable. They now believe their first commercial space trip will take place in the fourth quarter of 2022, more than 2 years later than they had intended. The company's dismal prognosis has brought its stock price down more than 85% from all-time highs, and it is now trading significantly below its initial stock price from 2019. So what exactly went wrong? Due to pandemic-related restrictions in their home state of New Mexico in 2020, they were unable to conduct necessary test flights. Because of course, the pandemic was not their responsibility and there was little they could do about it, you can't hold them responsible for the 2020 delays. In reality, the stock rose about 400 from its epidemic lows to its all-time high in February 2021. Because the delays were solely due to COVID, they should be able to resume normal operations once the pandemic is over. Richard Branson, the company's creator, undertook the first fully crewed space voyage in the summer of 2021. This was supposed to demonstrate that the technology was safe for passenger travel and that commercial flights would commence soon. Nevertheless, this confidence was short-lived. They flew a test flight with a new flight control computer system in December of 2020. One of those rocket motors came to an abrupt halt as it lost contact with the computer. Electromagnetic interference, according to the business, was to blame. They stated that it was a relatively simple problem to handle and that it should be resolved by May 2021. And to make matters worse, about the same time, Chamath sold his whole $213 million personal share in the company. Things got even worse in May 2021, when they announced that they had to reschedule flights due to unexpected wear and tear difficulties on their mothership. They stated that they were analyzing when they would be able to fly again in space, but refused to give a specific date. In October of 2021, commercial space flights was again postponed until the fourth quarter of 2022 due to a 10-month upgrade process to strengthen the spaceships. Because of COVID, investors were willing to give them a pass in 2020, but since 2021, the never-ending delays have been due to their own technological challenges. They have no one to blame but themselves. Investors have given up on the company because revenue, let alone profitability, appears to be a long way off. It is probable that, depending on how many additional delays they have, they'll have to issue more shares at the current low prices to cover their cash burn. Virgin Galactic is a brilliant corporation on a thrilling mission. There is no doubt about it, but it is not an easy one. Their rocket spacecraft speeds at 3 times the speed of sound and travels 50 miles above ground. It will take a long time to improve the technologies to prevent crashes like the one in 2014. They've had technical issues after technical issues over the last year, and while they have set a target for the fourth quarter this year, they have missed so many of their targets in the past that they've become essentially worthless. After all, this is an 18-year-old space tourism corporation that has yet to send a single visitor into space. And until it does, it is just a gigantic money-burning machine. So what are your thoughts on Virgin Galactic? Do you think a commercial launch will happen in our lifetimes? Let us know in the comment section down below. And with that, today's video comes to a close. To express your love and support for this video, click the like button below if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button below and also turning on the notification bell next to it to be the first to know when a new video is posted. Thank you for taking the time to watch and we hope you enjoyed yourself. We look forward to seeing you again soon.